Corso and Catone.
I think, well, listen, Mark, listen, hold on. When I say, would you have caffeine today?
What the hell is that up to?
Presented by Special Sauce Podcast, Studio 42 Design, and Corso Law Group. Now for the real deal New England feel, Corso and Catone.
Welcome into Corso and Catone, the real deal New England feel. I'm Corso, that's Catone. In the booth is Joe, and you're with us on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, the iHeartRadio app, and hey, listen, wherever you podcast, we are on. If you Alexa listeners, just say play Corso and Catone podcast on iHeart, and we will pop up. And check us out on Twitter. And listen, our heated hotline, there it is. There's our Twitter right down at the bottom. And listen, heated hotline, 855-313-PATS. Leave us a message 24/7. Everything is on the table, so we want to hear from you. 855-313-7287. Man, it was a busy week, and therefore we have a busy show. We want to get back into Major League Baseball in our heated hotline. And Catone's comments. Marc always has us on our toes. And the NCAA basketball tournaments have kicked off, and NFL free agency. So we're going to get to that in Weekly Rewind. And in Real Deal, how much trouble are the Patriots in? Well, I can tell you I'm wearing my red shirt, so that should be able to tell you guys something out there. But first, Heated Hotline.
Hey, Corso and Catone, it's Brett from Chicago. Hey, Corso and Catone, it's Brett from Chicago, and I just wanted to call in and leave my complaint for the week, and it's about the Major League Baseball. You know, I am so fed up. I am fed up with billionaire owners locking out players. I'm fed up with billionaires crying poor, claiming that they lost so much money in 2020. Guess what? Everyone lost money in 2020. People lost livelihoods in 2020. My wife and I almost lost everything in 2020. I don't want to hear it from a billionaire. I'm done. In 1994, I was in college, and I went through the first lockout, and I didn't go to a game for 4 years. I have 2 kids under age 5 right now. I don't think I want to introduce them to baseball, MLB baseball, that is. I'll take them to minor league baseball. I'll have them play Little League. I'm not going to show them the big leagues unless they want to do it on their own, because they're nothing but money grubbing, greedy ass bastards, old bastards at that don't care about anything but their bottom line and getting richer and richer off that national pastime. And guess what? Without the fans, without the people paying all the money to go to the games, buy all the jerseys, buy all the souvenirs, they would be nothing. And they don't give a shit. I'm done.
Well,
Man after my own heart. I love the passion.
Brett, thanks so much, Brett from Chicago. And listen, we needed to play that again this week because there's some things we're going to get to. It's such a great call, so we appreciate that. Marc, listen, so much to unwrap there, and I think that's the consensus. That's the way people feel right now. So I want to talk about the deal, but Marc, isn't that the way people feel? Just that.
Yeah. People are fed up with baseball. I mean, come on. I mean, really, you're crying like you don't have any money. Everyone knows it's to use the caller's terminology. It's a crock of shit, right? That they don't have any money. Really, come on. Chris, it's an absolute joke.
And it hit home too. He hits it home because a lot of people lost their skin over the last.
This is the wrong
years.
Time of wrong time to try to play that game, right? When you're right, when so many people lost so much, never lives, money. This isn't the time to play that game, And
I don't think I was ever more pissed off than back. You remember this like 2 years ago in the summer when they were in that, kind of negotiating that COVID situation, and Snell came on. He was playing for Tampa at the time.
Yeah,
remember that? And he comes on and says, I want my money, basically. I'm like, who the hell do you think you are, dude? You want your millions of dollars? I can't pay my employees. Brett's right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the truth.
So, Marc, what do you think of this? What do you think of this deal they came up with? I'll give you a couple of numbers. And they're talking about the competitive balance tax. What is that?
That's Chris, that is as bad as the NFL salary cap. It's all make-believe money and like the owners are playing the game with them. Like that money, that's all make-believe.
It is. And the owners need that. They want that cap because it's guaranteed money. So this is what we have. We got a 5-year deal. Competitive balance tax, or the CBT, that increases from $230 million to $244 over the next 5 years. The young guys, the small time players, did all right here. With less than 3 years playing, that increases from $570,000, that minimum, up to $700,000, and it can grow to $780,000. So $50 million is going to be distributed, among the younger players who haven't reached the arbitration point. So the numbers, Mark. Nobody likes the numbers. It really gets pissed off. What do you think?
The competitive balance tax, Chris, really isn't anything. It's just once you go over that threshold, like the Dodgers could give a shit the last 2-3 years. They don't care. Once you go over that competitive balance tax, it's not like the NFL where you can't. It's not a hard stop where you can't go over it. Yeah, you play games with the numbers to go over it. Same thing in the NBA, right? In 2022. It's all make-believe money, and these caps are all make-believe. But the competitive balance tax is a little bit different because if you can go over it, but then you're going to pay a tax. You're going to pay a penalty. And there's different levels. The higher you go up over that competitive balance tax, the more money the owners have to pay in a penalty to the league. Because, and I think that money, Chris, goes into some sort of a distribution fund, and I think it goes to somehow it may get kicked out to the rest of the teams or the smaller market teams. I don't know. But supposedly that's a general fund that they use that money for that, I think. But so, yeah, it's a competitive balance tax, and they raised it. So that helps the owners. And they're saying, well, that helps the players because now we can give them more money because you raised it.
Yeah.
Like,
and
it's all BS.
It is all BS. And when you boil it down, all those numbers, and I think Brett's throwing things at the screen. In fact, I'm hearing crickets right now. I think Joe took right off. I don't think he's even with us anymore. I think he ran down to spring training to try out for one of these teams. Hearing some of those numbers, but
those people are getting paid. I'm gonna get some.
You want to get some too, right? Yeah, we all want that.
Take out your old wooden bat, Joe, that you used to use back in the day.
But listen, it's true. What Brett's saying is true. It's disgusting to most people, especially when you start hearing these numbers being thrown around. And you know what's funny, though? The funny thing about it is the league won't market these guys the way the NFL does, the way some of the NBA. They don't market their guys like that. They don't have to. They don't want to. The more face they get, commercial, on MLB commercials and all these other things, the more the face that the player gets, the more the man they're going to have when they come to the table. I want to share in that. Look, I'm helping your product. The owners want to just keep it on the field, don't they?
No, you're right, Chris. When you think about it, right? How many times do you see a major league? I guess you do a little bit in the individual market, right? So in like this part of the country, you may see some Red Sox players like in Dunkin' Donuts commercials or local market commercials, but you don't see that national sales pitch like you do see. You're right, with basketball players or NFL players. You really don't get that much in baseball. It's more of a local thing, an international thing, and you're right, the owners want it that way.
No, I know, and so some of the thing. And by the way, you can tell anyone in New England is calling it Dunkin' Donuts forever. Everywhere else around the country, it's now Dunkin'. I can't say it either.
Dunkin'
It sounds
Donuts.
weird to me. Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin'?
That's what it. Get a cruller and a coffee regular, dip it in there, and go to town. But Mark, Joe, I mean, yeah, I can't blame these people. I just can't blame them. And now we look at changing the game, trying to bring the people back in to make it more exciting, so they don't have to sit through a 3.5 hour game, which is, it's like watching paint dry. So some of these proposed rule changes to try to get that done is, in 2022, you're going to have a universal DH, expand to 12 playoff teams, 9 inning doubleheaders instead of 7. and no runner on, which I know this is the one you like, no runner on second to start extra innings.
That's what I like. I like
the
that. I know you
shifts-
don't. I know you don't like that, but
I just want the game to end, man. End it. You got shootouts
Listen,
in hockey. I mean,
you realize there's some purists in me still.
eh,
You know that.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do?
Okay, I mean, all right. There's no purist in any other sport for you. I mean,
It's in
what
my
the hell is it
DNA.
about baseball?
Well,
Well, I mean, you're not worried about the rule changes in the NFL. Listen, I'm okay with these rule changes. Universal DH, fine. I don't really care about that. I just want the game to friggin' end. Now, the shift, I know you're okay with banning the shifts, pitch clock, bigger bases. When is that going to happen? They have 45 days to try to implement that. I'm hearing the players could still block that. So why would they want to?
I have no idea. What would be the point of that? You're right. It's only helping the growth of your sport because you're going to get, hopefully, more viewers watching TV, more younger kids perhaps getting back into the sport, but it's only going to help your viewership, which is going to help TV contracts, which is going to then turn into revenue for the players. So the players got to be, why they would do that is beyond me. I don't know who's advising players that's a bad thing because it's only going to make the brand better, which is going to lead to revenue. It's all about revenue. That's all both sides care about because revenue means a bigger contract for players. So I don't get it. It's in my opinion, it's dumb. Like, why would you even fight that? That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And Brett's right. You got to start with the kid. We need to get Brett's kids back interested in baseball. And kids are going to be interested in Little League all over here. They play all year round. But they want to get them to the next point. I mean, you could hear it in Brett's voice, how pissed off he is. You could tell he wants to do it. He wants to root for baseball again, but you can't, it's just tough to do. Look, the All-Star game, they want to make a home run. If it's a tie, they want to make it a home run derby. Love it. I love it. Put that in the regular season like a shootout. Play 3 extra innings. If you can't do it, get up to the plate and stop bringing guys up to hit home runs, right?
That I would go for, play a regular traditional 3-inning or, extra innings, and then you go to a home run derby. You know what? I would be all right with that. It would definitely add excitement to the game, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? But
it definitely would.
And I'm okay with that for the All-Star game. I think it'll be great if that happened in an All-Star game. You start home run derby with the best players in the game all together in one place. But they have to do something. Because listen,
we bring back the Roman rule and add tigers to the field. Just let them attack them.
What is wrong with him? He's like from the days of he's like archaic.
Can we get that 12 seconds back, please?
Come on.
Well, look, Brett, we appreciate the call. One of our best ones to date. They're in spring training now playing, so let's see what happens. Let's see if the fans.
And you know what?
They
really and can I say something to you before we go over to the next topic? Because of the lockout, the only good thing that came of this is they actually had a little bit of a free agent buzz. Almost like the NFL, a free agent frenzy, because everybody had to sign within a couple of weeks to get ready for training camp, where usually baseball free agency is a joke. It goes on for months and months and months. There's no excitement. That is something else they should have changed. They should have made it like the NFL and the NBA.
Well, next week
there's no excitement.
Next week we're going to get to more of that and break down some of these. Because I know some people in Boston are kind of pissed off about the makeup of their team. So we'll get to all that next week. Heated Hotline was presented by Special Sauce Podcast. What's your special sauce? SpecialSaucePodcast.com. When we come back, buckle up. Catone's Comments is next.
Special Sauce Podcast. You liking the song? The sauce is good, man. This is start off as finance train them, trust them, and let them lead. With your host, Marc. Tune in to Special Sauce Podcast, wherever you podcast. What's your special sauce? Time for Catone's Comments!
My wife did it again this week. She did it. She sent me to a store, to a market. She did it. After I told her that I had
Come on.
I have a New Year's resolution and stay calm, not get excited. She did it. She broke it. I didn't break it. Just for the record, it wasn't me. My wife forced me to break the resolution. Just for the record. Now, I go to the market, and after I tell this story, I want your legal advice, Corso.
Oh, boy.
I think I got a lawsuit against these people. Now, I go to the market. Okay, my daughter, last weekend, after the show's over, my wife says to me, oh, Carla has some of her friends coming over. Can you go to the market, get a couple of things? I said, yeah, okay, no problem. I'll do you a favor. I'll go. Why didn't she go when I was on the show? I don't know. Anyway, I go.
She's listening.
I go. So I go. They like these cookies. They're these cookies in a package. They got they're fancy cookies. They're in the bakery section. They got like frosted tips. One's got frosted tips. One's got like chocolate tips. Okay, good. So they like the chocolate tips. All right, I go get the chocolate tip cookies. Now, I think it's like they were like $3 and 99 cents, $3.50, whatever it is, right? Okay, no problem. I get that. I go. There's some other kind of pastry. They like these puff things. I don't know. They like to eat them. They're like 6 in a package. I go get those. They were like $3.99, whatever. And then I go down the aisle. They want fruit, this basket of fruit, whatever. I get whatever I gotta get. I go to the register. Okay, I go to the register. I'm checking out. The cookies, $7. The package of puffs, $8. I said, oh man, no. $3.99, $3.50. I said, no, $7, $8. Oh no, you gotta buy 2. I said, what do you mean I gotta buy 2? I said, I don't need 2. I need 1. What? I said, I don't want 2. I want 1. It's got a price. Divided in half. If it's 7 for 2, it's 1 is half of 7. Half, I said to her. Half. Oh, it don't work that way. I said, excuse me? She said, don't work that way. You got to go get another one. I said, I don't want another one. Wait, I don't need 2. I want 1. Well, you can't. I called the manager over. I said, I don't want 2. I want 1. I read your sign. That's what I'm paying. I ain't giving you another penny. The guy said, sir, that's not how it works. I said, no, that ain't how it works, huh? I took the cookies. I threw them on the ground. There you go. That's how it works. That's how it works. Go pick up the cookies, I said, because I ain't buying them. I walked out of the place. Walked out, left, went to a bakery, a real bakery, bought some stuff, brought it home. And what did she say, my wife? Well, that's not what they want. I said, that's not what they want. You're lucky I'm not arrested. You go to the store. Chris, false advertisement. I think I got a suit. False advertisement. I threw the cookies all over the floor.
Joe, let's make sure the cops are not coming in that door behind him.
This was last week.
Actually, you know what? That would
okay.
be. Well, it takes them some time. It takes them some time to investigate these kinds of things. Joe, when are we going to get cameras attached to him at all times?
Man, we're gonna have a.
I mean, we need to get the video surveillance camera for that particular store.
Why can't I do something about that? That's false.
What exactly do you want to do? What is it you want done about that?
I wanted the cookies for half the. I don't want 2. I want 1.
So you're saying,
it's gonna be some room
if it's $7.99 for 2, which
because the math is confusing me, Mark.
If it's $7.99 for 2, right? Joe,
I'm with you.
Joe, he's not a math guy. He likes to talk and read books. He's a lawyer. Read books. Half of $7.99 is 4.
Yeah, I'm just
4.
So you want to pay $4, right?
Because I'm not buying 2.
Right. So doesn't it say on the little thing though?
Yeah,
that's what I said. For 1, like
that's what I thought. The guy said it don't work that way.
you know, usually you're right. You know, when you go with those, Joe, when you go with those cards, you know, the store cards.
Exactly. I was just going to say that these days, everybody's.
Yeah, I put the card and I put the code in. I put the phone number in for the card.
Yeah.
Listen, if
Well,
I
they
went back
recognize
and
it,
got the card, listen, you know what was going to happen. I threw the cookies down. Here you go. I left. Because if I went back and got the card was going to get shoved down his throat with the price. That's why I couldn't go get the card. So I left.
Okay, so here's what I have so far: criminal damage,
Okay, good. There we go. This is what I like.
Yeah.
assault.
Punitive damages for sure.
Assault for what? What assault?
Well, not assault to cause injury. Okay,
Who did assault?
assault in this sense. Now, and I have to only give the Arizona rules here, but assault where somebody feels like they're in imminent danger of physical bodily harm.
Yeah,
That,
I was.
that particular assault
See?
is what you're
When I
being
went
charged
home
with.
without the cookies.
And of course,
Yeah.
disorderly conduct. Luckily, I know you guys have battery there. Lucky it wasn't a battery where you threw the
Joe, what the hell kind of lawyer is him? I want his help. He's turning it on me. Joe.
So you want to sue them, right? You want to sue them, sue everybody, you know, for the
I just
Marc.
wanted the cookies. I don't want to sue nobody.
listen.
Well, I figured, you know, for the
Did you
mental anguish when I went home, and then that's the topper. What she said, well, you got the wrong ones. I got the wrong ones. Yeah, I got the wrong ones. All right. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Mark, did you take your little blue pill today? Just want to make sure. You think that anxiety stuff?
You know,
Listen,
listen, I was doing good with my New Year's resolution. She wanted to do that. send me
okay,
there.
time out,
You know.
Joe. I think we needed a ruling here.
A ruling on the field.
Yeah, I think we need a ruling because there's no way he's doing well. On his you broke that New Year's resolution the next show, which I think was the next day.
I don't recall. I failed to recall.
Yes, you know, you broke that New Year's resolution when you opened up that driving school. That was it. You know, screaming at everybody and
Listen,
everything.
I'd make a lot of money if I opened CATONE'S driving school.
Next week, we want to have your wife on the show because I think at this point, you know, it's starting to become, this is the theme, you know, we want to make sure that Marc stays out of the stores and maybe we should take it right to the source, you know? So you stop buying dog food, cookies, and everything else. Because the next time he's going to throw a bottle of bleach at somebody. That's good.
I'm gonna put you in a solo layout, Chris, and just make the statement: no more big box stores for Marc. Here it is.
And I didn't
That's
mention the store. I was good. I didn't mention the store.
Yeah.
Chris,
So
your PSA.
yeah. Well, listen, you know, for those of you out there that we want to reach out to you, we want to help you. We need you to stay away from Marc Catone. We need you to stay clear of him. When you see him in a store, walk the other way, go down the other aisle. And I think everybody should be safe when that happens. You'd agree with that, Joe?
Give him the cookies, damn it. Give him the damn cookies.
Just give him the cookies. Let him open them. So, Marc,
Everything I bought, you don't understand. Everything I brought to the register was double the what it was more than what it was. I snapped.
Read the
Then
fine
guy-
print.
I read the fine print. I told you if I had to go get the card was going to go somewhere. So I left.
He always keeps us on our toes.
The thing is, you're right though, Marc. They with the card, it's like just do the card. You get the card right there.
Don't agree with him. He's nuts. What are you talking about?
Because they always do this crap.
I'm nuts, Joe. I'm nuts. He went to the gas station for candy bars. They charge him $50 for a car wash and a candy bar.
Just don't bring up the neighbor with the dog droppings. That's all. And we can keep it a nice, calm day. So I told you,
$50 for a candy bar and a car wash.
I told you that he keeps us on our toes, and he does not disappoint. So CATONE'S Comments was presented by Jag Media Productions, and Marc seemed to have a very busy week, and it was a very busy week all around. So let's get to our weekly rewind. Going back through the week, about a weekly rewind. All right, gentlemen, get your brackets out. Get your brackets out and get ready. The NCAA tournament, men's and women, both kicked off this week. The guys are in the round of 32 starting today, so that'll be going on all weekend. You know, it feels good. I love watching that. I love watching March Madness. It feels good. It's upbeat, positive.
Chris,
You know,
not to
what?
interrupt you, but I don't know because the TVs are behind your shoulder. Baylor just lost
Yeah,
in overtime. I think I'd let you know that Baylor lost.
Are you kidding me right now? Well, you know what? Throw everything out the door I was just about to say about how much fun this is. This sucks. That's a bust. That's a bracket buster for me. I had Baylor in the final against Arizona. Marc, I had him in the final. Oh,
You're
I'm screwed
done.
now. That's it. I'm done. But no, seriously. I mean, it's a great thing to watch. It's a lot of fun. What do you like about it? What do you love about this?
What I like about it is, and granted, it busted my bracket open, but watching in what other sport can you see what happened the other day? Richmond, who spends about 1/10 of what Kentucky spends on their basketball program. They're a 15 seed going up against a 2 seed. They're prohibited underdogs, and those kids banded together, had a great game. It's single elimination, and you watch the raw emotion of them winning that game, and watch the Kentucky sideline and the coach and the fans, and it, with the amount of money that they're spending on that program, and a little school like Richmond, who barely got into the tournament, they had to win their conference tournament to qualify, beats them. There's nothing else like that in sports, professional or amateur. That's it. It's one of the greatest spectacles there is in the country because of things like that. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's pure. It seems pure to me. That's the thing. I mean, when a team like St. Peter's, you know, could be
St. Peter's another one. Yep.
You know, which
I'm sorry, St. Peter's. I said Richmond. That's because they're playing PC today.
Well, Richmond won too. I mean,
they
Richmond
did. No,
won.
but that's what I meant. St. Peter's.
You know, Richmond beat. They were 12-5 game.
Yeah,
and they beat Iowa.
No, but thank you for correcting. That's why I meant St. Peter's.
Yeah, that killed your bracket too, I think.
Yeah, it did. My bracket. I flushed it.
So no, it is pure. I'll tell you what. You want an example? I'll give you an example of what I saw that kind of sums it up. You know, college kids, they love it. The ball in the Indiana game the other day, I think maybe Thursday, the ball got stuck up in the, you know, the top of the basket, the top of the backboard. It got stuck up there. So they got the chair out there and they're trying to get that thing out, you know, the arena officials. And one of the guys from Indiana the players wanted to get up there, but they said, no, we don't want you getting on a chair, you know. So all this is going on. They're trying to figure it out. Here come the cheerleaders now. So the guy puts the cheerleader on the shoulder and then lifts her up, and she grabs the basketball. The place went nuts. It was a great moment, and that to me, you know, sums up what the tournament is, what college sports and college basketball is, especially college basketball. So yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. But for people like us, okay, we start getting into our brackets now. Now you wanted to tell me that. Pull them out, guys. Get the brackets out. Let's talk about this because I want to go through some of these upsets, Marc, and talk to us about what are some of the upsets you see. You already brought a couple up. What else?
Going forward, or that?
Well, now happened? I mean, where are we at now?
I think that. Let me just pull my bracket up. They are.
Is it all like? Because mine looks like this right now.
No, see, I don't do that anymore. I do it electronic. No. See, I'm smarter than that now. I've been doing this too long.
Oh. Joe, did he just call me stupid?
Mine's electronic. Mine's electronic now. No. Yeah. Nope. Totally electronic.
I do everything by paper. I'm like a dinosaur. I print things.
You
up.
are. You're a complete dinosaur.
Wait till you see the free agency stuff. I got papers. I got stuff printed out. I'm ready to go.
So I'll tell you who I do have. And last night I had Chattanooga. They got beat by a point at the buzzer on me. I had them beating Illinois. But anyway.
Chattanooga.
Yeah, they lost by a point at the buzzer. If you watch the game, they had the lead for they've had the lead for all but 15 seconds of the game. The last 15 seconds of the game, Illinois took the lead. That was the first time they had the lead the entire game. Anyway, I'm going to tell you right now who I think is going to be an upset team, and because everyone picked against them, is Providence. Providence, I think, is going to the Sweet 16, and I think Providence could go to the Elite 8. And everybody had them losing to South Dakota State, which, you know, I'm going to talk about Providence because they're the local team, obviously.
Yeah, let's go over that because, you know, Thursday they play South Dakota. Okay, I got a little nervous though because with 4 minutes left in that game, they cut the lead to 3, right?
Yeah.
And but Providence played a good defensive game that day. They held Dakota down 30 points below their average.
Yeah.
So they play Richmond today, like you say, Richmond today. Talk to us. How far? I mean, you got your Providence College Friar shirt on. You're all ready to go. How far can they get?
I think they definitely could get. Listen, if they win, they probably play Kansas in the Sweet 16, and I know Kansas is a 1 seed. But Kansas, I think, is vulnerable. I don't think this is one of Kansas's best teams. If PC can shoot the 3-pointer, games that they've shot well from outside, they can play with anybody in the country. They have a deep inside game. They have one of the best defenders in the country. That Justin Minaya is one of the top 5 defensive players in the country. So you can put him on somebody, and he will shut them down. So I think if they win today, I give them a shot to beat Kansas, and then you get to the Elite 8, and anything can happen. You know, they'll play Auburn, which is real tough, but maybe somebody will beat Auburn. And, you know, like I said, I know Kansas is a 1 seed, but I think Providence can beat them. I think Kansas's conference was a little overrated. I mean, Baylor came from that conference. You know, Baylor was a 1 seed. They got beat today. If you didn't know that, I figured I'd let you know.
Again, you gotta say that to me. Are you like, okay? But I definitely think Providence can go. And I think I think the whole I'm a Big East guy. Obviously, this is where I'm from, right? I bleed Big East. I think Villanova can make a run too. I don't think the Big East never gets the respect it should since some of those football schools left. But I think Villanova can make a run in this tournament as well. But yeah, you know, I agree with you. I agree with you with Providence because I have Creighton beating Kansas.
Yeah, I did. I didn't do that. I had Kansas beating them, and then they lost their big 7-footer the other night, Creighton. Yeah. So that'll hurt them. But I had Kansas beating Creighton.
But well, you could have been like, you know, see, you did it electronically. See, this is why I do it on paper. So
I can't do paper anymore because I couldn't read the things. You crossed this, that. I couldn't read them anymore.
I know. I can't read. I'm trying to see, like, what was this, 12-5? I don't know. But I haven't, you know, one of the reasons I haven't beaten Kansas is because I want to see the third matchup. I want to see Providence Creighton.
Oh, I would love to see that too. I really would.
Because
so who do you have in your final 4 in championship?
Well, let's go from the 8. Go from the 8. Okay, from 8 on. So here's what I have. I have Arizona. So we're in the South Conference there, or South section there. I got Arizona. I had Seton Hall, but TCU got in there. So I have Arizona. I have Illinois playing Arizona then. I got Tennessee playing Villanova, and that's the South. Okay. Then I got Creighton playing PC. I got Wisconsin playing Auburn. That's the Midwest side. And then going to the other side in the West, I got Gonzaga playing Duke. Well, I had Baylor playing Purdue, and now I'm screwed. So I don't know what I'm going to do there. And I had Baylor going all the way through. So that's what I have in the 8. You know? So, I mean, Joe, are you even, like, doing any of this? Do you even have any
No.
You know?
No.
That's it. That's it. Joe has no
keep track. There's too many teams. I have no idea which. I need some NCAA schooling for real.
Right. Well, just follow Marc around in the box stores and everything. And
you know what I do? I tune in to CORSO and Catone. And
that's it. Well, we're the real deal. This is where this is what drives me crazy. So who do you have in the 8, Marc?
My 8. See, it's tough for me to look at this like this.
See, this is why. This is why I have a piece of paper because see.
But all I know is my final 4. I'll skip the 8 because it's easier for me to read the final 4 on this. My final 4 was Kentucky, dead. Right, dead, out. I had Kentucky. I had Gonzaga.
Yeah.
I had Arizona. And I had Auburn going to the final 4. And then I got Gonzaga and Arizona going to the final. And I got Gonzaga. I'm sorry, I got Arizona. I picked Arizona to win the whole thing.
Well, before.
So I still got 3 teams alive, and I got my championship team is still alive technically, and you still have 3 out of 4 alive in your championship team.
Oh, listen
too?
to him now. Listen to him now, Joe. Listen to him. Oh, you still got, now he's going to be Mr. Positive over there. You keep trying to get back your New Year's resolution. It's over, man. It's done.
At least he's trying. You know what I mean?
He's trying. All right.
Everybody else just gives up.
So my Final Four was Gonzaga, Baylor, and I think, did you have Baylor in your Final Four, Mark?
I didn't, because I had Baylor getting beat in the 8th round by Kentucky.
Oh, right. You had Kentucky. See, I had Purdue beating Kentucky. And so then I had Baylor beating Purdue. So I had Baylor, I had Gonzaga, I had Arizona. I have Arizona. And believe it or not, everyone, I have Providence College in the Final Four. Mark, I just feel like their defense, they're such a good defensive team, and that coach is he's a baller, just him. Okay. Yeah. If he could get on that court and start whacking people around, he would do it. So I think they take the shape of their coach. They have his makeup. Wouldn't you agree with that?
No, they absolutely do that. And he breeds culture and togetherness and family. That's his thing. Culture, togetherness, family. That's like his motto. And they just breed that. This is like a real close-knit team. And you're right. It comes from the coach, right? And he's finally getting a little bit of recognition, because up until now, he didn't nationally, he didn't really get the love. But he is this year that, he's done such a great job with this group. So, we'll see. If they win today, hey, anything's possible. You get to the final 16, right? Anything's possible. You got to win. You got to take care of business today.
If St. Peter's can beat Kentucky, then, PC can beat Auburn, in my opinion. It can happen.
Absolutely.
Why not?
Absolutely. What did Kevin Garnett say when the Celtics won the championship? Anything's possible.
Anything's possible.
Anything's possible.
Right? Hey, they retired his number up in the rafters. That was a nice ceremony. Did you watch that?
That was a great ceremony. That's something I would like to get into in a future show. A little bit of the tribute clip that they played of him, because I think it tells you a lot about what's going on in sports today. But that's for another show.
Yeah, we could cover that next week, because you were pretty wound up about that when we talked.
Yeah, I was
about the passion.
But anyway, getting back to March Madness.
Well, I have Arizona beating PC and then winning the whole thing.
Yep. So, but I have Arizona winning the whole thing. But I hope Providence continues to win, so I can watch them play a couple of more games at least. And because I've been going to games for years and years, like you said a couple of weeks ago. You used to go with your father to the games, your grandfather. Oh yeah. So
it was fun. So we're going to get into that more. We're going to continue this next week, talking about the NCAA as it continues on.
By the time we get there, you won't even be able to read that sheet. You'll have so many cross.
Oh no! I'll have it all ready to go. It'll all be. Well, how about you? You gotta look on your phone for 10, 20 minutes to find it. He's not prepared, Joseph.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well,
Weekly Rewind. Weekly Rewind was presented by CORSO Law Group, Arizona's leading criminal and traffic law firm. CORSOLawGroup.com. Allow us to be your voice. When we come back, we're gonna get real.
It's that time again for a timeout for a message from one of our sponsors. No one ever thinks they will be in the need of a criminal or traffic lawyer, but things happen. CORSO Law Group is Arizona's leading criminal and traffic law firm. Their 20-plus years experience and attention to detail has helped thousands of people all across this great country who found themselves in a situation in Arizona. So whether it's a traffic ticket or if you need reduced DUI or more serious issues, call or go online to CORSOLawGroup.com and talk with these expert attorneys who I know will help you. CORSO Law Group.
Back in with more Corso and Catone, the real deal New England feel. And listen, before we get into our real deal, we just want to acknowledge the passing this week of John Clayton. They used to call him the professor, right, Marc? John Clayton passed away this week. He was a long time beat writer. He covered the NFL for over 5 decades. Everyone you talk to, everybody you hear talks about what a nice guy he was. What a genuine guy. Class act. He did things the right way. But and that's hard to do covering the NFL, especially for 50 years. So, we wanted to acknowledge him, and he's going to be sorely missed. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the Clayton family and all their friends. The professor is gone at the age of 67. So, Mark, it's time to get real. That's why we are the real deal New England Field. It's going to be real. That's too nice of an opening, Joe, for what we're going to be doing right now. And so NFL free agency is now open, and it seems like teams are just lapping the Patriots. Just keep lapping them, buy them. And the Patriots seem to be standing still, doing nothing, and that's the real deal. So before we get to how bad of shape they're in, let's talk about some of these teams. Let's go to the AFC. We'll talk about these teams. Who they're loading up. Who's better, and who should we be concerned about besides everyone?
Well, obviously the AFC West, I think we need to be concerned about, right? The Raiders have gone in now and starting to sign guys. They go and get Davante Adams, and I loved it. Davante Adams gave a big F-U to that idiot Rodgers, didn't he? A big F-U to Rodgers, right?
That was fun.
Because they said Green Bay was offering him just about as much money, and he chose to leave that idiot because I think he's had enough of Rodgers' his act out there. So now let's see what Rodgers does, right? But that division is loaded, and of course, your buddy got traded yesterday, Watson, for the exact deal you said it would cost.
Well, okay. So going through, and I have them all. So, the Raiders, and we'll just do the big one. Hey, by the way, they got Brandon Bolden. That's
the Raiders. Yes, that's a big
Raiders,
one.
They're in the Super Bowl now.
But no, supposedly they're in hot pursuit of. They're in hot pursuit of Gilmore. That broke today too.
So, yeah, Mark, Davante Adams. They re-signed Crosby, Chandler Jones with their other big splash. He's going to pay. He's going to be at $52 million, and Davante Adams. Yeah, he's going to break the bank over there. But so yeah, that's one team, and I would say probably that team may be in the fourth position in that division because some of the things they're just killing each other with bringing guys in. So
yeah, the friggin' Chiefs bringing Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yeah, so talk about that for a minute because they bring in Schuster and he signs a 1-year deal for $10.5 million. That's not a ridiculous number.
By the way, Nelson Aguilar is making more money than him. I just want to put it in perspective.
Okay, now you see, you really want my face to match my shirt now at this point, right?
Put it in perspective.
No, but seriously, that's not a big, huge contract. Now, maybe what people have to understand too, though, is some of these guys are looking at the attitude in New England. We'll get to that, but some of these guys are looking at these teams like they used to look at the Patriots, saying, "Hey, look, we'll take a little less money because we have a shot to win." And that's, we can't get it through our heads in New England that's the way it is now. It ain't you anymore. It's them. So Kansas City got better. Okay. Then we go to the Denver Broncos, Mark, where they
got a little better, didn't they?
Oh, Russell Wilson. He comes over here. We went through that deal last week. Some of the other things, Deshaun Williams, Anderson, Gregory, but the big splash for them was Russell Wilson. So they get better too. So that's another team that gets better. And we already talked about Kansas City. And then you have the Chargers. Chargers were already good, right? And now they get even better. Khalil Mack, J.C. Jackson, to go along with all the weapons they have on offense, they went all in on defense here. Every one of these guys is a defensive player other than re-signing Mike Williams, right? So, first of all, handicap that division. How do you see it going?
That division is going to be a war. They're going to beat. Well, I guess the only good thing you could say about that division is they're probably going to beat up on each other, right? So that means the best record in the AFC may not come out of that division only because you would think they're going to beat up on each other, right?
Yeah.
I don't, I didn't think the Rams. I say the Rams again.
It's
I didn't think
possible
the
for three
Chiefs-
teams, though.
I didn't think the Chiefs had a chance to win that division, but then they go and get Juju Smith-Schuster, which is going to help them. But I still think Kansas City defensively has a lot of deficiencies, and they've done nothing defensively to get better. So, okay, they got Juju Smith-Schuster. You're going to win every game in a shootout? I mean, you have no defense. Their defense, I think, is awful.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're going to let Matthew, the safety go. Matthew, right? If he goes,
Matthew.
now what? Right? He
Yeah,
was
they
the
were
hot
bad.
and soul of that defense.
That secondary sucked against Buffalo. The only saving grace was Buffalo's was worse. That's the secondary in that AFC Championship game. But I'm sorry, and in that division round game. But so winning that division, whatever, pick one. Denver, Chargers, Kansas City. I mean, but I agree.
You figure they'll get a wild card out of there too, I'm guessing.
Or two.
So
I think three teams, but of course they got losses in that division. They're right, Mark. And so a couple of the other teams that we should be concerned about, obviously Cincinnati, they just keep, and they took one of our guards, Ted Karras. He's gone. Both of our guards
and they signed another offensive lineman before that. So they're shoring up their weakness, which was their offensive line.
Yeah,
taking care of that. They signed their safety, who was really good. They re-signed him.
Yeah. Because they sacked Burrow 9 times in that Tennessee playoff game. So that they're doing what they need to do. Even the Cleveland Browns, Mark, the Cleveland Browns have a better quarterback than us. How the hell did that happen?
And listen, everyone is talking about what they gave up to get Watson, but they're going to get something in return because now they're going to turn around and flip Mayfield. Somebody's going to give them, I bet you, a first-round pick for Mayfield. So you're going to get one of those 3 first-round picks back. Watch.
It may be Indianapolis.
Maybe.
Who knows?
But they're going to ask. They're going to get a first-round pick for him. You watch.
It may even be Pittsburgh.
Maybe
that makes a play for him. But Deshaun Watson, they signed Amari Cooper.
Maybe.
Mark,
Maybe.
I'm so pissed off about Deshaun Watson because it did. It went for exactly what I said it was going to go for. 3 first-round picks. Yeah. And for us, one of them would have been Mac Jones, right? So, Watson gets a fully guaranteed 5-year deal for $230 million. He gets fully guaranteed. Well, if you're the Cleveland Browns, that's the only way. It's the only way we're going to get that guy in your house, right? Is to pull a move like that. So, they're better. Now, the Cleveland Browns are better now. Cincinnati Bengals.
So isn't Buffalo, because Buffalo went in they picked up a couple of free agents. They picked up Tim Settle, a good defensive tackle. That was their weakness, was the run. They dealt with the run, right?
They lost the defensive tackle. The defensive end they wanted, though, the linebacker, yeah.
They did, but I think they'll be okay, right? So it's us. What are we doing?
Well, Von Miller, Mark.
Von Miller, that's right. Von Miller, who I slipped my mind. So guess what? Their defense is going to be better.
So count the teams. You got pretty much everybody in the AFC West. That's 4. You got 2 now in the AFC North. Cleveland has leapfrogged, in my opinion. You got Cincinnati, and some will argue Baltimore. Baltimore had a ton of injuries last year. Where are they going to be? And obviously Buffalo. So that, and I don't know about Indianapolis. I don't know who their quarterback's going to be. Maybe you could put the Patriots above them, but they're just free falling. So let's get into that now. Let's talk about how bad is this for us?
It's real bad because, listen, last year they went and signed all those free agents. Why? Not because they changed philosophy, because all of a sudden Kraft opened up the checkbook, because Tom Brady won a Super Bowl. So they were getting crucified. So in this part of the country, nationally. So what did they do? They went and spent money. We're coming back. We're gonna put a team on the field that's gonna compete. Okay, great. You won a couple more games, made the playoffs. Good. All of a sudden, well, we're good now. We made the playoffs. We calmed people down. We're finished. Boop. All done. And they're back to, not only they back to what they used to do, they're actually worse. They've spent less money this year than I think they've ever spent in free agency. Okay? And I'm going to tell you this. I love the fact that Brady came back because Devontae Adams is gone. Russell Wilson is gone. Who is stopping him other than the Rams? It's going to be Tampa and the Rams. If they stay healthy, he's got a shot to go to another Super Bowl.
Yeah. This is taking Mark's breath away. This entire friggin' topic.
No,
but
what
yeah,
took my breath away with those stupid cookies at the store?
my God. Well, you needed some milk to wash it down so you're not over here choking every 2 seconds. You know what I mean? But no, you're right, Mark. Tampa Bay, obviously Brady. They took Shaq Mason. Now they got Russell Gage from signed.
He's
from
recruiting.
Atlanta.
He's recruiting. Julio
Godwin's
Jones.
there. Perryman. Jensen's re-signed. Davis re-signed. Logan Ryan. I mean, you're right. They're going to walk right into the Super Bowl. Every good quarterback is in the AFC.
Let me
now.
ask you a question, though. I thought there was a salary cap. How did they re-sign?
Yeah. Okay. So you know what? I can't deal with that anymore. I'm so sick of hearing people. And you know who I'm sick of listening to about the salary cap? Are the local people. Everybody that's basically an apologist for the Patriots, or anybody that says, well, they don't have. What one of these teams was $50 million over the cap, yet they brought all kinds of guys. Look, if you sign somebody and give them guaranteed money, then you spread out the salary over 5 years, 4 years, 6 years, never thinking you'll see years 4, 5, and 6. That's how you beat the cap. It's not that complicated, but owners are able to just fall back on it because they don't want to spend dust. So that begs the question, who's responsible for this in New England? Kraft, Belichick, Kraft.
Well, so what you just described means that other owners around the league, the way they structure these deals, do have to give some money up front to get these guys. But then it don't count against the cap because the way it's structured, but it is real money.
It's
and
real
that's
money.
Something Kraft don't want to do. So you know what? Kraft, I'm going to put it on Kraft. Okay, Kraft got lucky. You end up you draft Brady. Not only did you draft the greatest player in the history of sports, you also get a guy who's willing for 20 years to take a hometown discount for you. Right?
Go team friendly, yeah.
Team friendly, hometown discount, whatever you want to call it, right? So you were able to put nothing around him because he elevated those guys and elevated those guys and elevated those guys where everyone else around the league couldn't do that. He's gone. But the philosophy hasn't changed. And guess what? All those teams you mentioned at the beginning have now jumped you and leapfrogged you. If you make the playoffs, you're lucky. But guess what we've become with this philosophy? We're going to be the new tomato can game for teams. What happened last year against Buffalo, where you lost by 40, we're going to be the tomato can game, and we're going to get to the playoffs, and we're going to get beat by one of these high-flying teams every year by 40, 30. Unless you want to change your philosophy, spend real money, and you know what? It's time to kick the 70-year-old to the curb. Because look what McDaniels and Ziegler are doing in L.A. And I told you that that's who I wanted. Give the reins to McDaniels and Ziegler. I told you that after like week 7 of the season, and everyone thought I was crazy. Okay.
Again, you go back 5 years, and we keep doing this. You go back 5 years, obviously the left turn versus the right turn. The mistake was, hey, Bill, Tom is staying. Okay, he's here. We're giving him a 5-year deal. Deal with it. And if you don't want to deal with it, walk. Promote McDaniel, Ziegler's there, or at the time, whoever. And now you see McDaniel's the kind of guys he wants. And you're right. So that's what had happened. So when you go back and forth with this kind of thing, and Joe and I were talking about that this week a lot. Who's to blame? Who do you? And to me, look, I don't think there's anybody that's going to spend somebody else's $50 million. Do you honestly think that Bill Belichick has got the right to say, we're signing this guy, we're giving him a $30 million signing bonus? Bob, write the check. There's no way that's happening. Kraft has to
reverse. What we talked about is Belichick's making the reverse call, saying, I don't want to spend this guy's millions.
Well, no, I think that's coming second, though. See, I think that what's happening is he's got to go to Kraft because he's got to get the okay to spend it. And Kraft's saying, yeah, we're not doing that because of what Marc said, is that last year he had to do it because what do we talk about with Kraft? He's all about the face. He's all about the image, which is why he was so pissed off that Brady didn't mention him in that in that exit from the Bucks.
As a Patriot fan, then you want Brady to go to another Super Bowl and you want to get your face kicked in because that means he'll go spend a ton of money again next year. He has to. He won't have a choice because now he'll say, okay, well, we're not where we think we will. And the one thing that Belichick does to feed into this philosophy is his ego's so damn big. Give me whoever you want. I can win with him.
It's okay, Bob. It's all right. It's okay. And you know what? You see it, like you said, because they're signing all those guys in Tampa. Guys are taking pay cuts to come in. So Belichick may have created the Patriot way, but Brady exemplified it. He implemented it. He was the bridge between ownership and player, and he did it perfectly.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
Please don't.
Breaking
do this
news.
to me. I can't pop a blood vessel today.
Breaking
What do
news,
you have?
Joe. The Patriots are in deep, deep discussion and are very close to signing Jawad Bentley.
You know what? Can I get that 15 seconds back? I told you before, get rid of all the linebackers, all of them. I did say Bentley, maybe you can use him, but let's see how much money they pay that clown. It's beyond the joke at this point. It's so beyond the joke. And again, so who's to blame? Mark, do you realize, Joe, that if you go back to when Kraft bought the team in 93 or whatever it was, if there's only like 3 years that he actually spent money, it was 07, really. I mean, he spent a ton of money between 93 and 2000, right? I mean, I can't remember that much, but some. But 2007 spent a lot of money. 11, I believe, spent money, or 13 spent money. And then last year spent money. So to me, what the appearance is this, Mark, is that if this guy hadn't spent money more than just 3 seasons and he had 20 years of success because of the situation and the makeup and Brady and Belichick and the Patriot way, so he never had to spend money. So maybe we're coming to the realization that he's just cheap. He doesn't want to spend any money. No?
Well, it's all about the profit margin and the bottom line. Let's face it. He's a businessman. How did he make his money? He made his money in business. That's how he could buy the team. He owned, Gillette, right? Obviously, the company. So that's him. The bottom line, profit margin, and he's done it for 20 years. He turned this initial investment into one of the most lucrative organizations in the world. Not only are they the Patriots, it's the brand. Patriot, right. It's Patriot Place. It's everything else that he's done because he's had that business philosophy and that business model for the last 20 years. The only problem is it doesn't work anymore. You're not going to win another championship or Super Bowl with that philosophy. It's not going to happen because you don't have number 12. Let's face it.
He doesn't have to. As long as he's making coin, he doesn't have to win another one. He's got 6 of them. He's making a ton of money. At some point, though, So
at some point, he's going to have to do something because the fans aren't going to show once you get kicked in the teeth a few more times.
So the bottom line is spending money in free agency, that's Kraft bad. Drafting, so you don't have to spend money, all Bill. And Mark, real quick, is it, did I read this right? Is Mac Jones and Brian Hoyer teaching Joe Judge the friggin' offense?
What did I tell you when they brought back Hoyer? What did I say to you?
He's a coach. He's the quarterback coach.
I said they hired the quarterback coach for the next 2 years. There you go. Hey, so I called him and said, I think it's a smart move. He was livid. I said, it's a smart move. You need a quarterback coach, don't you? So they signed their quarterback coach. He knows more than anybody else in the organization about playing that position on this team. And he's going to teach Judge.
It's another reason why, Mark. It's another reason why that guys don't want to come here. Who the hell's coming to Joe Judge and Matt Patricia? Nobody.
Listen, you're fooling yourself. You're fooling yourself if anybody thinks anybody's coming here. Nobody's coming here. Nobody.
So we'll see what happens. We're going to cover this over the next weeks and weeks to see how bad it's going to really get. But we'll see how that goes. So Real Deal was presented by Special Sauce Podcast. What's your special sauce? SpecialSaucePodcast.com. Guys, it's time. We got to get out of here. Gentlemen, thank you again. It was another fun week, right, guys?
Good
It
stuff.
was great.
stuff.
Great week. Great week. Watch your blood pressure go up. You got your St. Joseph's Day shirt on. You got red on.
Yeah, we'll bring the cookies next week, Mark. So, and thank you all for joining us in the nation. And listen, people, get on this week, watch, listen to all our shows. And look, we know you like it because it's us. It's real. So, and while you're watching, head down to the description below. Click on any one of those links and you will be in the nation. And listen,
Call us. You
Yeah,
forgot to give them the number.
Well, Heated Hotline, 855-313-PATS 7287. And while you're down there, there's a little bell down there. We want you to click on that bell because, Mark, do you know what the bell is for in that description area?
Yes. Yeah, that tells me I got to take my
There
prescription.
you
I
go.
got about 13 pills.
That's it. He's got to take his Geritol. So make sure you know it's an alarm. When the bell goes off, Corso and Catone are on. We want to make it simple for you. So come back next week. 7 p.m. Eastern. Celtics are going to race to the finish here. We go deeper into the NCAA tournament and more free agency fallout. So you definitely don't want to miss that. Hey, what better way to spend your week than with Corso and Catone, the real deal New England feel? See you next Saturday.